أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Ladies and gentlemen, I assure you that now, between your dinner, it's only me who is standing. So, lend me your ears for a few minutes, and I assure you, I will try to make it short. Congressman Ed Rice, Chairman, Foreign Relations Committee, Mrs. Maria Royce, Honorable Consul Generals, Vice Consuls, senior U.S. government officials, officers of LAPD, dear Pakistani brothers and sisters, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege and pleasure to welcome you all at the celebration of 73rd anniversary of Pakistan Resolution, which was adopted in Lahore on 23rd March 1940. It was a landmark event in the history of South Asia and a watershed in our struggle for freedom. From the colonial rule under the able leadership of Father of the Nation, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. I am grateful to Mr. Akhtar Mahmood Farooqi for his excellent expose on the freedom movement and the significance of 23rd March in the history of Pakistan. I am sure that besides refreshing our minds, it has added to the knowledge of our distinguished guests. We know that while we achieved our independence on 14th August 1947, the declaration of 23rd March as Pakistan's National Day signifies the importance of this day in our freedom movement. Ladies and gentlemen, the last decade or so has been extremely challenging for Pakistan. Besides unprecedented natural calamities like 2005 earthquake and 2010 floods, we have been at the forefront of international efforts against the global phenomenon of extremism and terrorism. As a frontline state, the price paid by the people of Pakistan, both in blood and money, is mind-boggling. Since 9/11, over 46,000 Pakistani civilians, law enforcement, and military personnel have sacrificed their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, statistically it means that there had been more than one 9/11 in Pakistan every year. During this period, the losses suffered by our economy have reached over 70 billion and counting. Sometimes, when our international partners ask us to do more, or in other words, to lose more, the people of Pakistan rightly ask this question, whether their money and resources are of a lesser value or they themselves are children of lesser cause. It is therefore imperative that the sacrifices made by the people of Pakistan be acknowledged and respected. Ladies and gentlemen, since losing is not an option, despite this enormous cost paid by the people of Pakistan, the government and people of Pakistan remain resolute and steadfast to fight against the forces of extremism and obscurantism. We are confident that our determination and resilience will prevail, inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, despite these challenges, we have continued to build institutions in the last 5 years that buttress democracy in Pakistan. The first ever completion of full term by a democratically elected government, installation of transitional arrangements as constitutionally agreed by the democratic forces, and the announcement of holding elections within the prescribed time frame are omens of a changing narrative in Pakistan. The tackling of several constitutional issues that had cluttered and at times crippled our democracy for the last more than 3 decades is extremely reassuring for the strength of democracy in Pakistan. Furthermore, the presence of a vibrant civil society, a free media, and most importantly, a strong and independent judiciary gives us the confidence about the strengthening of democratic institutions in Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, beside a democracy, Pakistan is also an open and progressive economy. The common perception is that Pakistan is an agrarian economy. Yes, agriculture is the largest employer of its labor force, but today, nearly 80% of its GDP is generated by industry and services sector. Being world's 6th largest country and a significant market of 190 million, Pakistan offers enormous opportunities for trade and investment. Pakistan has one of the largest middle classes outside China and India. This middle class is upwardly mobile, technology conversant, and historically consumption-oriented. Pakistan has the 9th largest pool of English language speakers and is home to one of the largest trained workforces in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we are fully cognizant of the importance of our political and economic relations with the United States, which remains Pakistan's largest export market and source of foreign direct investments in the country. The presence of a dedicated commercial consular in the consulate in Los Angeles is a manifestation of our desire to further strengthen our bilateral trade and economic relations, particularly on the West Coast. We therefore will continue with our efforts to build a deeper and robust economic relationship between our two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, we are aware that an enduring partnership between countries can be built and sustained only if their political and commercial relations are underpinned by close people-to-people contacts. And I believe that the Pakistani Americans can play an important role in this regard. Having served and traveled in several countries of the world, I am delighted to know that Pakistani American community in this great country is probably the most dynamic, vibrant, and successful community anywhere in the world. You may be pleasantly surprised to know that at a recent All World Network meeting, which is a gathering of world's most successful and rising young entrepreneurs at Harvard Business School, arranged in collaboration with US State Department, 30% of the total participants happen to be Pakistani Americans. I admire every Pakistani American who is an active member of one or more community organizations. They may be from Lahore, Karachi, or Islamabad, but I know this heart beats with the tunes from Pakistan. I have realized the eagerness to work diligently in our Pakistani American brothers and sisters to promote Pakistan's interests, language, art, and culture. Some of the organizations led by Pakistani Americans are doing remarkable welfare and philanthropic work in Pakistan. I thank each one of you for your contribution to these organizations. I would like to impress upon you now the need to integrate deeper into mainstream American society and be active in public life. You are working with the local communities and engagement with local authorities such as LAPD will foster better mutual understanding, remove misperceptions, and help in bringing the people of our two great countries together. Ladies and gentlemen, the organization of today's beautiful evening is a vivid example of the dynamism of an active member of Pakistani community, Pakistani American community in Los Angeles. My profound thanks go to Mr. Arif Mansouri, a successful industrialist and the chairman of weekly bilingual newspaper, Pakistan Link. who took the initiative to join hands with the consulate and organize today's celebrations. I also thank the sponsors and a number of friends and members of Mr. Mansouri's team who generously and wholeheartedly supported him in his effort. I also acknowledge the contribution made by my able Vice Consul, Dr. Khalid Ijaz, and the good work done by the consulate staff. I would like to thank you once again for taking the time on a weekend to join us in celebrating our National Day. A very special thanks go to Congressman Ed Royce for his taking out the time and joining us at this occasion, and for the very kind words that he has said about Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm aware that by virtue of his powerful position, what difference he can make in the bilateral development of bilateral relations between the US and Pakistan. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you very much, everybody. Long live Pakistan, long live Pakistan-US friendship. Thank you.